Hello and welcome. This video is going to be a list with me, work with me type video. As you can still tell, I do not still feel very good. It is getting slightly better, but unfortunately the pollen is getting worse, so I'm just gonna have to be medicated for a while, and that's fine. I have, as you can see, I have a lot of work to do. I started to try to go through all of my giant vintage haul and quickly realized that the solution that I had hoped would work was not going to. So in order to really be able to go through and sort all these vintage pieces and make sure I can match the things back up the way they're supposed to, I am going to need to clear off my double rack. So let me show you why that's gonna be quite the adventure. For my first attempt at trying to do all this vintage, I just pulled this rack out, and from here over is all the vintage stuff that I have already sorted and put together. However, everything else on this rack is not from this haul. So that means I need to get all of this listed and all of this listed. Now this right here is all stuff I need to repair, which as you can see, it's like 10 or 12 pieces. That's a lot. And then you can also tell that a lot of this is also vintage. So when it comes to dresses and stuff, I am going to put them aside. But anything that is just a top, since I've already done all the bottoms, plus this fat stack here. So this is stuff from my recent thrift trip, plus another bag of stuff that I actually found in my car that was still there from a previous thrift trip, and a lot of this stuff is like new with tag stuff that would be pretty good to be listed for springtime. And then again, there's Miss Moxie. These are also projects, so these are two things that need buttons replaced on them. And then this is all of those tops from my vintage haul that I didn't get around to because there is so much here. I don't know if any of those tops have a matching bottom. So that's why I need the double rack, is so I can actually get all of this up off the floor and actually be able to go through it. Since I have managed to list all of the bottoms that do not require repair at this point, I've gone ahead and changed my measurement board over to tops. You know, most reselling platforms, once you have a 1:1 aspect ratio, I was like, a square board, this is going to be a perfect solution. This is my solution. I know plenty of resellers that don't even bother with measurements in their listings. I know some people who use a dry erase board. I just think this is a vibe. And I do like including measurements because as someone who requires to have a certain inseam length, because I am tall, I look for measurements, so I like to provide that as well. Plus, I don't like doing double work, so I don't want to have to pull something out later to get a measurements, because, you know, if you don't include measurements, that's going to be the one thing that they ask for measurements for, right? Right. Murphy's Law. I'm going to go through and start on this beautiful photographing and listing process. And Moxie is just going to stare at me the entire time. Are you wanting pets? What is this? What are you wanting? You're wanting attention. Okay, can we not step on the product? And this is another reason why it needs to get listed, is so that way she doesn't make a nest in it. That happened with the pants I had put here. She had started laying on them, like when I had sorted them all out by like what type and if they were modern or vintage, she started using them as a bed, even though I made her perfectly good bed underneath. I don't know. I just need to get stuff listed, so let's get working. My basket is empty, so at the end of this video we will see how many I actually got photographed. And my supervisor will be diligently there watching me, or licking herself, you know, both are fine. She's such a lady. You there, my little lady? Mom, you're embarrassing me. I am just starting off by doing some measurements on this linen piece and then adding them to my board. I've already added the size because I looked at the label. I take photographs of the label and then the photographs of the board, and
I am gonna show you me photographing. I go in the bathroom with the piece, take the front, take the back, check to see if there's any tag in there. There's not, so then I hang it up, and again, I take measurements, all the measurements, and then take it down. I'm putting it on a hanger because this is actually gonna go in my rotating reseller closet. And here I am steaming. I actually really love steaming stuff. I do have a professional grade Jiffy steamer, but I've had this from my time working at Adidas, so this actually didn't cost me anything. It was free, and I've had it for 14 years. Now, you don't need to have a steamer in order to resell clothes. It just makes things a little bit nicer. It definitely would be an investment because I do believe that this particular style of steamer is like $130 to $150. I'm not 100% sure because, again, I've had this one for 14 years. That's how much it cost, I think, then. But again, you don't need to have one of these to resell clothes at all. But I like it. Oh no, I found a stain. Well, now I gotta stop what I'm doing and fix that.
Hi, so as you saw there, I found a stain. It looked like somebody had dropped it and just stepped on the back of that brand new Stonebank polo. So I did stain treat it and it's upstairs drying. So this is just wet. But as you can see, it's gone. The stain is gone. So the baking soda and Dawn, as long as it's not ink, pretty much never fails. So I just stain treated the bottom part where it was and it's fine. Then as happens with almost every reseller, when they go to start photographing and listing stuff, you find boo-boos, which I was so excited to find this Spirit jersey, and I'm still excited, but I was steaming it and there is a little hole. Look, see my finger? So I know some people would just list it as is. I'm actually just going to do like a quick whip stitch to close that up and then disclose it. I mean, I don't really feel like... I could also just make it a feature. Like, I do have embroidery thread. I knew that there's a thing on TikTok where people are like doing embroidery embellishments to try to make their clothes more sustainable instead of, if it gets a hole, don't throw it away, just make the hole a feature. Which I like and I've done before on things, so I could do that, but that's more time. So I'm just gonna do a quick stitch and then take photographs and disclose. The chair is now clear. I still have the things I need to repair. That's all the vintage stuff. That's still drying for me doing the stain treatment, and then I have one vintage denim jacket that is upstairs hang drying that I put in the washing machine. So I have completed, for the most part. I've got couple projects, couple things I'm waiting on, but overall this basket is almost full. I don't know how many pieces it is, so let's count. We'll do the, I feel like we're gonna do, what is it? Count Dracula? Not Count Dracula. The Count. It's just the Count. He's just the Count on Sesame Street. I don't know why something so simple just escaped my brain. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, failure, 15, 16. I think that's right. I'm gonna have to count it again. Wow, there is some exciting stuff happening out there. So this was 16 pieces. I'm so glad that I can still count. And that took me 3 hours. I've been working steadily for 3 hours and I was only able to photograph 16 things. And you know, I say only, but I also do not feel well and I did have to stop like once every like 30 minutes and lay down for like 10 because I'm very dizzy. So, because I'm having to take the pseudoephedrine and the Benadryl in order to be able to breathe, and that just makes me feel weird. But I still have to pay my bills, and this is how I do this now. So I hopefully will have more energy. So I appreciate those of you that are watching these little, I guess, low energy videos. I do know that they're not as exciting or entertaining, especially since I'm literally just working, but I do appreciate you guys watching them. I will have a what sold video tomorrow because again, every odd day, and today is the last day of the month. So I hope you guys had an awesome March, And there will be no April Fool's joke tomorrow because I think that that's silly. I've never enjoyed April Fools. I do not enjoy that. I'm a very plain and honest, blunt person, so it's not my bag. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.